Story number 3. All right, so we got some business moves that happened and went down in 2023. We're just watching all these characters play out, and doggone it, Taylor Swift kept coming up. So we're gonna start off our little business discussion with the girl Taylor Swift. I just remember her meme going viral of her doing the little swimming pool dive. Did you ever see that?
I'm
She
no, I gotta go
she
look it up.
she has this concert, and in the middle of the concert, she makes it appear like she's jumping into a swimming pool, but she's basically jumping through the stage, and she disappears through the stage, and people are like, "Oh my god, where'd she go?" So it's a cute little thing. But what else did Taylor Swift get up to?
Not too much. Obviously, our big Eras tour kicked off, and it became the biggest thing. It was neck and neck with Beyonce, but then just went to that stratosphere. And then she leveraged that to, and so basically biggest concert of all time, over $1 billion, and she's doing it worldwide. And then she got into this relationship with a football player, so that brought more attention to her, to an audience that they probably knew about her, but now she was just in their face every Sunday with this relationship with Kelsey. What's the what? Travis Kelsey, excuse me,
Yeah.
for Kansas City. And now she had a movie that got released. And so now she's on the cover of Time. So it's just like jumped into another stratosphere of her fame and, wealth and influence. And so this was the year of Taylor. Who knew? And like you said, there was a moment there where she went away for a couple of years. People did not like her, right? They felt she was annoying and all this stuff. But man, don't underestimate the power of artists, man, and what they can do and recreate themselves. And she's still the same person. People love her, man. And
Yeah.
I don't get it, but I understand it.
Yeah, and I wanna focus on her a little bit because she's representing that influencer brand persona that just corrals all this attention and money in her general direction. So,
Mhm.
whether it's putting out a movie, whether it's putting out her version of Wordle, just all this stuff
Yeah.
that people are like, "I need something to attach to." Oh, there's a brand, a person I can attach to. Yeah, forget the Spotify streams. I'm buying whatever she's putting out. So
There it is. Yeah. Kudos to her.
yeah, man. We already talked about Netflix, but they did officially win the streaming wars. They're making money there while everybody else is crying over how much money they lost.
I was looking for some reward to give them, but I don't have anywhere. So kudos to them.
I have this mysterious orange. What do you call these? It's not a Taurus. It's a. Is that what it is? A Taurus?
I have no
Yeah.
idea.
I I forgot the mathematical term for the donut shape. Anyway, yes, SBF. Wait, what's the bank's name?
Silicon Valley
Silicon
Bank.
SVB. He wrote SVB here, and I said show versus business in my head, and I was like, wait a minute, that can't be right. Capitalize the V, yes, Silicon Valley Bank, of course. What happened with that?
Yeah, so Silicon Valley Bank was the bank of choice for a lot of startup companies, and they just ran out of cash. They were basically banks are basically not Ponzi schemes, but basically they're trying to say, hey, we can get access to capital we need to. But in the meantime, we're going to use your cash to make more money. And they got caught with their pants down when there was the atypical, what they call bank run, when people need to pull a bunch of cash out of their bank at the same time on the suspicion that Silicon Valley Bank did not have their money. And so, yeah, it just crashed. So it was weird. That happened like literally over a week. I think it was so fast that one minute we heard that they didn't have enough money. And then it's the VC war, they destroyed it. The VCs who had companies that had money in that bank told them to take their money out. So all these Silicon Valley startups took their money out of the bank. As a bank run, they didn't have enough money to cover it. And so the bank failed. And so now all these startups had no access to cash. And cash is the lifeblood. I can tell you, cash is the lifeblood of any startup or company.
Yeah.
And so now they were left in the lurch. And so now the same VCs that told the companies to get the money out of the bank and are so libertarianism, right? They're so about independence. They basically were crying on Twitter or X all weekend. I don't know if you remember that, calling for a
Mhm.
bailout. And of course, they got one. So there was millions. The U.S. government backstopped all deposits. So basically, everybody made whole. And Silicon Bank, the assets got bought out by I think First Republic and another bank. So it's a whole thing. But yeah, it just shows you the. Do you remember Wolf of the Wall Street where he
Oh,
said
yeah.
the Fugazi? And I think that was a death knell of. We talked about this before, but death knell of Sam Altman, Sam Bankman-Fried, and other things that kind of collapsed over the last year. That was a definitely a metaverse, NFTs, just high flying
Yeah.
billion dollar status startups. Because now we're seeing everything fall apart and inflation. We didn't talk about this in the business notes, but inflation has been out of control. And so I think that the era of easy money is no longer there. We're going to see people who are going to win this new world are really going to be grinders because that era of just, yeah, make $1 million, buy this course or get money from startups, or you can borrow money at 0% interest. Them days are gone, man. And so I think that Silicon Valley Bank's failure is probably going to be a really, it's been that canary in the coal mine for what's going to really happen for the long term of our economy.
Yeah, and everybody's waiting to jump in on any mistakes. Twitter turned to X. People got pissed off at Elon Musk and not sure if he was going crazy or not, and wondering what was happening with their favorite platform. And right in the midst of every X mistake, this year we also saw Meta and Zuckerberg and Maseri and all the people over there jumping in to say, "Hey, we got Threads. We got this alternative replacement." It became the biggest new app of all time, the fastest adoption just because of its Instagram power. It pulled all the users over. I want to say it was the fastest adoption of an app just because it had that Instagram connection. But yeah, that happened.
Wow, you're on Thursday, Mr. Benja. What is your take on it? Is it here for the long haul? Is it here not just for a fun time, but a long time? What's going on?
I think it's here for a long time. The after the crazy and everybody was just on it, then it died down. Now it's definitely picking back up again. I'm having fun on it every day. I'm getting up to my high post and engagement amounts. So I'm making it my primary platform for all of 2024. We'll see how that goes. Yep. And hopefully Disney joins on because companies have been dumping X and jumping on threads like just like crazy. Christian Dior was on there. Whatchamacallit, Pizza Hut started threading. It's like all these companies are starting to post on threads, even though they don't have an advertising play just yet. So that'll come soon. But speaking of Bob Iger and Disney, what your boy came back. What happened here?
We talked about this, man. Bob Iger came back. Oh man, everybody was loving it. Iger to the rescue. He's gonna save Disney. And then properly the stock has sank like a rock, man. He's in the midst of one of the worst board proxy fights. And so basically people are trying to get more board seats without the approval of Disney. And so because they think the direction Bob Iger's going. He's fighting that. Obviously, he's fighting the streaming wars, which he lost handily. So he's trying to figure out how he's gonna recover money. He's got to figure out what he's gonna do with ESPN. He's gonna buy Hulu. That's gonna be another $9 billion. They just had the biggest layoff, 7,000 people. He announced early this year across the country, across the company. So yeah, Bob Iger is just in a mess, man, right now. And then we're talking about also the death. His cable business is drying up. Disney Channel and other ESPN, because basically people are not buying cable anymore. And so cable was a good model, business model, because you got money two ways. People were paying for cable and they got ad revenue. And that's so now that's getting dried up. So the only thing that's saving helping them a little bit is the all the parks. But even now, I think I told you stories of my niece who worked there. Disney, this woke or go broke narrative that we talked about. A lot of people are poo-pooing on just going to Disney parks and
Yeah.
protesting. So anyway, he's very embattled right now, and so I don't know what this looks like for Disney's future. And there's another little factoid I found recently. He said, how does Disney stay connected to children's entertainment when 85% of kids under age 12 are seeking out YouTube before any other streaming service? And I think that's facts, man. I see that with my kids who are both 11 and 7. We have Disney Plus. My daughter watches every now and then. I can't get my 7-year-old to watch. He's always on Roblox or Do Perfect or the
Yeah.
Ninja Kids. And it's like blowing my mind. It's like,
You,
dude,
you you remember a lot of people were mad when Disney shut down their I forgot the name of it. Disney had a big world app where people could run around and all the different
mhm.
Disney characters, and they shut that whole thing down. And people were like, "No, you idiots, you did that too soon." And they were like, "We're Disney." But yeah, Disney's messing up. We'll see what happens to them in 20.
If you like this podcast, please subscribe and comment at Services Business on X, formerly known as Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Listen to us at Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts. Go check us out also on our website a show versus business. And leave us a comment and let us know what you think of what you heard all year.